Hey there, everybody. Just thought I'd do a quick post um, about abundance. So, I don't know if you know or are familiar with abundance practice. It's not something I used to be aware of, but I've found it can really help when you're feeling a bit down or a bit restricted, a bit small, if you because when things are going shit, when things are going bad, generally we contract, don't we, as individuals, because if you've got no money, for example, then you start feeling like you've got to hold on to the money you've got. You start to sort of, obviously, sensibly, you might stop paying for things that are unnecessary in your life, whether that's Netflix or Spotify or Sky or whatever it is. But you then become less generous, whereas previously you might have donated some money to charity or put some of your loose change in one of those collection boxes, when you're getting your coffee or something like that. And when money is lacking in your life, you often find, I have in the past, that you don't do those things because you're constricting. You're just sort of getting smaller. You're hoarding that money, and of course that doesn't always work for us, because whilst it's good to be conscious of your finances and to not throw money away, it's I've definitely found the more I practice abundance, then the more that comes back to me. So, as an example, I've just given blood, so there's my proof that I've been given blood. If you can see that, so I just gave blood today, so I've got an abundance of blood in my body. Now, there's not going to be more come back. Well, there will be more come back to me because I'm going to go home and have a glass of Malbec, and that's going to top me up nicely. But it's true. My body will replenish itself, so it can afford to give. And of course, the act of giving makes me feel good. It makes me feel great that I can donate some blood. They said to me before that my blood was special blood. But it was something to do. It had a very low level of antibodies or something like that. So it was very useful for the neonatal units, for the new baby units, which is mind blowing, really, that your blood can be given to newborn babies like that. So that's just fantastic. Just a way of giving back. But it's also about that abundance mindset of realizing that you have enough, you have plenty. So I remember doing this practice in London a few times, when I was working at the stock exchange, where, one time I gave a guy at London Bridge Station some money, for example, and I've always been very tormented over giving beggars. This guy doesn't sort of beg for money. He would just sit there and say hello to everybody and wish everybody a fantastic day. But I've always had that thing of, oh, do I give that person money because they're going to go and buy booze or they're going to buy drugs? So you start going into all the reasons why you're not going to do this thing, this nice, generous act that you were going to do. And then, as part of a program that I was on, a mentoring course that I was on, of course, they said there's obviously other things you could do. So examples of that are various forms of paying it forward. So, for example, buying a coffee. If you're buying a coffee, you could just say to the barista, could you charge me for two of those, please? Because what I'd like you to do is the next person that comes in, offer them that coffee as a free coffee. And you don't want anything in return. You're not even going to see that person, maybe. But, and when I've done that before, it was amazing because it brought up loads of things about in myself, thinking, oh, I don't, what are they going to think of me? What is the barista going to think of me? How stupid is that? Why do I care what the barista thinks of me? And why am I caring that me doing this good deed, this good act, this, act of abundance, this act of paying it forward, why would I worry about what they think of me? And I've had some people give me some real funny looks when I've done things like that in the past. And then all of a sudden it's clicked. They've realised what I'm doing, that I'm paying it forward and I'm doing this good deed. And obviously, most of the time they get it, and they smile, and that's good. But again, it makes me feel good to have given that free coffee. Or if I was worried about giving a guy on the street money, then I bought an extra sandwich, for example, when I was working in London, and then gave it to a guy on the street. And that felt great because I didn't have that thing going on in my head about, oh, are they going to buy drugs or booze, or what are they going to do with the money? I just thought, I'm giving the guy a sandwich. He can either take it and eat it, or he can do what he wants with it, throw it away for all I care. Right? So you were doing a good act for the other person, but it also makes you feel good. And it's not just the holier than thou good deed type effect. It's just the act of giving, and just that abundance mentality that I've been talking about. And in my life, the more that I show this abundance, this abundance mentality in my daily life, the more I find comes back to me. Whereas when I constrict and become small and hoard, then I don't get those things. I actually repel those things. I repel getting more money when I go small and constrict like that. So hopefully that's useful to you. If you don't practice an abundance practice or an abundance mindset, then give it a go. And to be honest, just giving blood today and doing this video now is just another great reminder for me, because I'm not working in London now, and so therefore I've got out of this paying it forward mentality. And I'm paying off debts, paying off bills, and paying for house improvements, and all these things I'm shelling out money for. And then I sometimes realize that, hang on, I'm not practicing what I preach in the abundance mindset mentality. So it's a good reminder for me to look at doing that a bit more too. So anyway, I hope that's useful. If you practice any form of abundance practice or mindset, or if you've got any tips or tricks, I'd love to hear in the comments below. I hope that's useful, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Okay, all the best. See ya. Bye.